Okay, how you guys doing there? Hopefully you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. We're ready to start back up doing some math here on Monday. Uh, so this assignment that we're doing now, we're going to be talking about section 3-5, section 3.5. This assignment you should work on today and Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. It's due on Wednesday, which is, was that December 2nd, I think it is. So anyhow, hopefully this section isn't too bad. It's a very important section. Sorry about that. But it's not too difficult, but it is a very, very, very important section, so make sure that you guys watch this video and do your assignments. So, okay, we're talking about in section 3-5, graphing linear equations in what's called slope-intercept form, okay? I think that in middle school that Mrs. Thomas has probably talked to you about y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form. So, let me put that down there real quick. Slope-intercept form is of the form y equals mx plus b. And the reason why that's called slope-intercept form is m stands for your slope. Why do they use the letter m? I have no idea. And b is what is called the y-intercept. Okay? And something else you're going to have to know is how to calculate the slope. Slope, you've probably heard before, is rise over run. It's also, you subtract your two y values over subtracting your two x values, and you've got to be consistent when you do that, okay? We'll talk about that when we dive into the very first problem, okay? There is different ways you can calculate slope, but for this section, I'm just going to do it one way. This is not necessarily the fastest way, but it doesn't take too long, but we're just going to do y minus y over x minus x every single time, okay? If you know some shortcuts that you can use, you can do those also, okay? So, we'll talk more about slope-intercept form as we dive into the assignment. We're going to look at question number 5. This isn't a really long assignment. It's like 24, 25 questions or something like that. They ask us to determine the slope of the line, and they give you a picture, okay? The picture they give us on exercise number 5 is we have the point here, and the points they give us are, what do we have here? -3, 1, and you don't need to draw the picture. It just might be easier for you to picture, to do this if you can see the picture. And then we have 2, -2, the point 2, -2. Okay? So we know that this has a negative slope because you look at the graph, it's going down. As you go from left to right, it's going down. Okay? And you always look at graphs from left to right. Just like you read left to right, you look at graphs left to right, this is going down. If it was going like this would have a positive slope. Well, this is going down, so it's a negative slope. Well, negative what? That's not good enough to just say negative. Okay? So, we need to find out exactly what it is. So we need to subtract our two y values. So -3 is an x value, 1 is a y value, 2 is an x value, -2 is a y value. So my two y values are 1 and -2. I'm going to take 1 minus -2, and then over -3, take away 2. I'm taking this y value minus this y value over that x value minus that x value. Okay? 1 minus -2 is the same as 1 plus +2, which is 3. -3 minus 2 more is -5. And that's our slope, okay? And they also ask us, is it a positive slope or a negative slope? We already knew it was negative, okay? So it's going down, it's a negative slope, it's a -3/5 slope, okay? All right, let's look at question number 7. Question number 7, same type question, okay? They give us a picture. I'm not going to draw the picture here, okay? You can look at it on your own. The 2 points they give us is -2, -3, and what? 2, -3. So x, y, we subtract our two y values. Our two y values are -3 and -3. So -3 minus -3 over -2, take away 2 more. Well, minus minus, plus plus, -3 and a +3 is 0. -2, take away 2 more is -4, and 0 over -4 is 0. That's our slope, which is m, okay? So they ask us the slope is 0, it's not positive or negative, okay? So slope is 0, so m is 0. So you have to just click on that twice, okay? All right, number 9. Question number 9, they give you a bunch of data. I'm going to draw this all out this one time, but most of the time I'm not going to do this because it's not necessary. Okay? They give us the points, -9, -5, -1, 3 I think it is. Yep, -2, 0, 2, 4. 2, 0, 2, 4. They give us 4 points here, -9, -2. They give us a point -5, 0. They also give us -1, 2. I'm going to write this down, but you don't necessarily have to do this. And then 3, 4. Okay? You only need 2 points. Okay? They gave us 4 points. So I'm just going to pick these 2 points. It doesn't matter which ones we pick. Okay? I chose these two. Or I just chose these. I took -9, -2, and -5, 0. And again, x, y, x, y. Our two x values are, two y values are -2, take away 0, over -9 minus -5. -2, take away nothing, stays -2. Minus minus turns into plus plus. -9 plus 5 is a -4. A negative over a negative is a positive, and 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Okay, so positive 1/2. So your slope is 1/2. Okay, we're just doing the same question over and over and over, just with different numbers. Okay, question number 11. Number 11 looks just like question number 9 with different numbers. Okay, I'm not going to put that whole table out there because again, they give you more information than what's necessary. Okay, then I'm just going to put down 2 points here. 2 points they give us are the points 0, -4, and 0, 0. Okay, well, x, y, y take away y, -4, take away 0, over my x value, 0 minus 0. Okay, -4 take away 0 is -4, 0 minus 0 is 0. Now be careful here. -4 divided by 0 is not 0, okay? You're not allowed to divide by 0, okay? It's not 0 because, for example, if I asked you what 10 divided by 2 is, we know it's 5, because 2 times 5 is 10. Well, 0 times what gives you a -4? Nothing. There is no solution to that, okay? That is what's called undefined. You're not allowed to divide by 0. That's undefined. Now, what the heck does that look like then? Is this a line if I graphed it? Yes, it is. What it would look like is a vertical line, okay? That has what's called undefined slope, okay? If I went like this line has a positive slope. It's going up from left to right. This right here has a negative slope. It's going down from left to right. If I went like this, that would have a slope of 0 because it's not going up or down. A horizontal line is not going up or down. That would have a slope of 0. If I asked you to trace this left to right, you can't do it. It's impossible. It's going straight up and down. So that's an undefined slope. A line that has an undefined slope is vertical. Okay? All right, next one. Number 13. Okay. So question 13, they give you a story problem here. They simply ask us, though, to find the slope of the line. Okay? So the slope of the line is this. Okay. So they give us 2 points. The point's 160 and 120, I think. And again, you can look at the picture if you need to, but you don't necessarily have to. X, y, x, y. I'm going to take 60 minus 120 over 1 minus 2. 60 minus 120 is -60. 1 take away 2 is -1. Negative over negative is a positive. 60 over 1 is 60. That's our slope. Your slope, this is big right here. Your slope is how something is changing. Okay, that's what the slope is, change, okay? They're talking about a bus trip. This bus is traveling 60 miles every hour, okay? That's how it's changing, okay? If you're in a car and it's going 55 miles an hour, that's your rate, okay? Speed, rate, same thing, okay? So you need 60 twice. The slope is 60, the bus is traveling 60 miles an hour. Okay, skip 14, on to number 15. Okay, question number 15. Okay, they ask you to find the slope and the y-intercept of this linear equation. So y equals -3x plus 2. Now, I'm going to add to this question right here, okay? They simply ask us for the slope and the y-intercept. This is going to be a very quick question to do, okay? Now, you've got to be able to graph these. You've got to be able to graph these, all right? So even though they're not asking you to do this on this particular problem, I would do it. 'Cause I'm going to tell you right now, on your next test, they're going to ask you to graph these, okay? So to get a little more practice, I would encourage you to graph these as well. Your slope, remember y equals mx plus b, what I put at the very beginning? M is the number in front of the x if y is by itself. So m in this case, slope is -3. B is your y-intercept. That's the number off by itself, which would be +2. Now, this problem's done. If you click on those, that's all they want to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to graph them, though. Again, you don't need to for your grade, but you're going to have to be able to graph these on your own. So good practice here. Now, nobody likes fractions, myself included, except for one case, okay? When we're talking about slope, we actually prefer it to be a fraction. You remember, we said slope is rise over run. They actually give you the definition of slope as a fraction, rise over run. Okay, we like the slope to be fractions, so make our slope a fraction, -3 over 1. how you graph this, you look at your y-intercept first. It's plus 2. That tells you where to go on the y-axis. Where is y plus 2? Up 2 spots. If it said minus 2, you'd only gone down 2 spots. Okay? You'd only gone down 2 spots. Then your slope is negative 3 over 1. You're going to, from this point, you're going to rise negative 3, which means you go down 3 spots, and then run positive 1, which is 1 to the right. You rise up and down, you run back and forth. Our slope was negative 3 over 1. We rose negative 3, we ran positive 1. There's our line. Now, you don't need to do this for this particular problem on your assignment, but you've got to be able to do that on your next test, okay? Graphing lines in slope-intercept form is a big thing that you've got to be able to do when you get out of this class, out of algebra, okay? Number 17, y equals 6x. Okay, well, our slope is the number in front of the x, 6. B is the number you see out here. Well, you don't see anything here. Well, I could put plus 0, and it's not going to change it. Okay? This problem's done, but let's go ahead and graph this thing. Let's make 6 a fraction, 6 over 1. So, we go up 0, which is right here, and then we're going to rise, from this point, rise 6, and run positive 1. And there's our line. Again, you don't have to do that for that particular question, but it's good practice because you're going to be graphing those on your next test. Question number 19. A little bit tougher question here, not much, but a little bit. Number 19 says, find the slope of the y-intercept of negative 2x plus y is 4. Negative 2x plus y is 4. Now, we've been saying that the slope's the number in front of the x. The slope's the number in front of the x. What's in front of the x? Negative 2. That's not the slope, though, okay? It's the number in front of the x if it's in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, you need to have y all by itself. Here y is by itself. Here y is by itself. Here y is not by itself. We have to get rid of the negative 2x by adding 2x. These cancel. We have y equals, and it says 4 plus 2x, but we like the x term first. So 2x plus 4. Now it's in slope-intercept form. So our slope, m, is 2, and b is 4. Okay? Let's go ahead and graph this, even though they don't ask you to. So we do our y-intercept first. It's positive 4. That tells you to go up 4. And our slope is 2 over 1. So from here we rise 2 and run 1, and there's our line. Okay? So if it's not in slope-intercept form, put it in slope-intercept form. 21. Getting close to being done with this section. 21 says, negative 5x equals 8 minus y. Negative 5x equals 8, take away y. Okay? So, we got to get y by itself. So, here's y. We got to get rid of this 8, so we subtract 8. Subtract 8. So, we have negative 5x, take away 8 equals y. Actually, I take it back. Not y, negative y. And I'm going to switch spots here, okay? I'm going to put the left side on the right and the right side on the left, because we like to have y over here, okay? So I have negative y equals negative 5x, take away 8. I just took this and put it here, put that over there. Now, is y by itself? Almost. We got to get rid of this negative, okay? That's a negative 1, by the way. The way you get rid of the negative 1, divide negative 1, divide negative 1, divide negative 1. These cancel. When you divide by 1, nothing happens. When you divide by negative 1, everything turns opposite. So negative 5 turns into positive 5x, negative 8 turns into positive 8. So y equals mx plus b, m is 5, b is 8. And again, this is done, but let's do this. We go up 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If that would have been negative 8, we would have gone down 8. And our slope is 5 over 1. So we run, rise 5, run 1. Up 5, right 1. And again, they don't ask us to graph it, but you guys might need the practice at it. So 25, how many more we got here? Not too many more. About 4 more to go. Okay, now they actually do ask us to graph these, okay? So let's do this. They ask us on number 25 to do y equals negative x plus 7. Okay, this is in slope-intercept form. Y is all by itself. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is our slope is negative 1, and let's make it a fraction over 1. Okay, so they ask us the slope, identify the x-intercept. They just ask us the x-intercept. Okay, we'll do that in a second here. Okay, we haven't talked about the x-intercept yet. We've talked about the y-intercept. Remember, b is the y-intercept. B is the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 7. We don't know our x-intercept yet, though. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second here. So how we graph this thing, we go up 7. And then from there, we rise -1 and run +1. So we go down 1 and right 1. And there's our line. Now they ask us also, this is our y-intercept. They ask us for the x-intercept. Well, this point right here is the x-intercept, which is something. We just don't know what it is. Okay? And I haven't told you how to find the x-intercept yet. So here's what you do. To find the x-intercept, plug into 0 for y. So 0 equals -x plus 7. That's what the original problem says. Y was -x plus 7. Solve this for x. -7 minus 7. 0 minus 7 is -7 is -x. If -x is -7, +x is +7. So your x-intercept is 7, 0. Just type in 7, okay? So that was the point 7, 0. So to find the x-intercept, plug in a 0 for y. 27. Okay, 3 more to go, I think, in this section. 27, we have y equals 2x. Y equals 2x. Okay, so, and again, I can make it plus 0 and make this a fraction 2 over 1. So, we go up 0, and then we rise 2, and run 1. And there's our line. And they ask us for the x-intercept. Well, this is the y-intercept. This is where it touches the y-axis. Well, you know where it touches the x-axis? In the same spot. It's 0. It's touching it in the same spot. Okay? So, the x-intercept is 0. Or you could do this. We really wanted to. We had y equals 2x. If you wanted to do it algebraically, plug in a 0 for y. 0 equals 2x, divided by 2, x equals 0 divided by 2, which is 0. Doesn't matter. Okay? But this is both the x-intercept and the y-intercept because it goes right through 0, 0. Okay, 2 more. I think 2 more. Doesn't it go to 32? Yes, it does. So 29. Where's 29 at? 28. 29. 3x plus y equals, I think, -1 equals -1. Okay, so we're not ready to graph this one. Y is not by itself. So get it by itself. Get rid of the 3x. We do that, these cancel. Y equals -3x. Take away 1. -3 over 1. So our y-intercept is -1. That tells you to go down 1. Our slope is -3 over 1. We rise -3. We run +1. There's our line. So our x-intercept is right here, which is somewhere. I don't know where that is. Okay, so what we do is we plug in a 0. And we can plug it in the original one or this one. Doesn't matter. I'm going to use the original one. 3x plus y is -1. To find the x-intercept, plug in a 0 for y. So 3x plus 0 is 3x. Divide by 3. These cancel. X is -1 divided by 3, which is -1/3. So this was the point, -1/3, 0. So just the x-intercept is -1/3. Okay, 31, last question of this section. Let's move it over here. Okay, it's 31. We have -y plus x is 0. -y plus x. Or plus 5x. -y plus 5x is 0. Okay, we got to get y by itself. We subtract 5x. We subtract 5x. These cancel. -y equals 0 minus 5x, which is -5x. Again, that's -1. Divide by -1 to get rid of that negative. These cancel. Y equals negative over negative is a positive 5x. I could put plus 0 and make 5 a fraction, 5 over 1. So we go up 0, then rise 5, and run 1. And again, our x-intercept is still 0, okay, because it goes through 0, 0. So x-intercept is 0. So there's our graph, and our x-intercept is 0. Okay, hopefully this wasn't too bad of a section for you. If you have any questions, again, make sure you email me, and I'll get back with you. Like I say, due this Wednesday, I think at, what is that, December 2nd. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.